Hello, everyone, and good evening. We are here with an amazing conversation, as we always have, about rejuvenation. Why do we actually consider that to be something that is essential and important? Not that it's not important or it is important, we're not making it significant. But what I'm saying is like, we started this off with G100 Oneness and Wisdom simply because we thought in the beginning of every month, why can't we come up with things that we can all explore that can actually create a different way of thinking, a different way of feeling, and a different way of showing up in our own life and living. So that's why Rejuvenation Fest was actually created. And we are part of the G100 Oneness and Wisdom platform. We all know that. We are streaming live on YouTube right now and on our LinkedIn official page. So everyone who's been looking to hear what it is that we're going to be talking about, please come online and let's start listening to the amazing information that is going to be shared by our wonderful Kavitha Srinivasan, who's our Dubai City Chair for G100 Oneness and Wisdom. Welcome, 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 Kavitha. How are you doing today?
Thank you so very much. As always, I say gorgeous.
Wonderful. I think it is always important. And I think we're all here to rejuvenate and even look
Oh,
prettier,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
brighter, and be ready to rock the world, rock our world,
Yes.
and rock everyone else as well.
True
So
that.
we're going to be exploring today with you a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Would you like to share what the topic is?
Well, we are going to be speaking about facts versus faith, a journey
Mm,
of the heart, mind, and soul.
that's right. That's so amazing. And most of us actually look at it but don't consider it. So today I'm going to pick your brains, Kavita, since I believe this is your favorite topic. Quite honestly, it's
Yes.
mine too. But since you are the lady who's going to be talking about it, I'd love to learn from you and see what we can explore all together to come up with something greater. So when you talk about the journey, I think all of us know that we are on a journey. We are
Yes.
always evolving and emerging as something brand new and different. But I think what the amazing part is that we are here to explore how we can learn, grow, and be more of
Yes.
ourselves, right? So, having said that, when we talk about the journey and we're talking about the mind, very important part, and we give it a lot of importance. What do you think about that? What do you think about the
The mi-
mind?
uh, I think about the mind as this limitless, unlimited, borderless entity that
Okay,
is like the universe.
okay, cool.
Okay,
Okay,
so what it can do, the capacity of the mind to be able to travel across lands and universes and galaxies and etc 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 is limitless.
mm,
But how we can do that is only when we start believing that it can do it. And a
okay,
mind is something that you can actually train to be the way you want it to be, if only
exactly.
you knew.
Right. So, but I have a question for you there. Do you
Yeah.
think that we give a lot of importance to the mind and forget about the other parts of us?
Oh, yes, very, very much. I think
Mm,
mankind, from when they have started, gives so much of importance to thoughts, what the
mm,
mind is thinking, what the mind
mm,
wants, without
correct.
even knowing that there is another part of the body that is connected to the mind, that is your heart and your soul.
That is
And
correct.
both of them are in tandem with each other, both of them are in a journey, and
Yeah,
the mind can be full of gibberish too.
exactly. That's the thing. But do you consider the fact that sometimes what we do is we tend to give the most importance to the mind, and
Yes.
uh, and then we don't know how to get out of it. So, do you have
Oh,
any
yes.
but
Yes.
notions as to how we can actually explore that?
Yes. One of the most important things that I learned as a very small child is because I come from a very different background, right? From an
Mm,
Indian culture. So
Mm,
we are taught to sort of meditate and pay
mm,
attention to what your mind is thinking. And if you see that it is going in a different direction, how do you even train it? So
that's right.
for me, because I lost my mother very, very, very young, so I
Mm,
needed to be able to rein this horse called the mind to
mm,
stop from racing at the pace that it was racing, because I
mm,
needed to do the right things. I had siblings to take care. So, how did I do that? I
yeah.
learned something that was very, very interesting, by the way. So,
Okay.
when I was in sixth grade, there was this meditation expert, so called, who
Okay.
came to the class.
Okay.
And what she taught us was to concentrate on the flame of a candle.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that was supposed to control you and bring that peace and focus and things like that. Now that's
Mm,
more important, because for the mind to be able to really be focused and not concentrate on certain things and let it from racing away, we needed that calm. And when my mother passed away is when I started thinking that I need to go back and see what I can do, because there is fear, there is uncertainty, there is you have issues with dealing with what next. There is
mm, mm,
so much that's going on in that young mind of yours, and that is also an age where you can
mm.
make mistakes very easily. You can get carried away, you can make mistakes. Now
Yes.
that is when I started concentrating, and I said, let me start out. And I did. Believe me, you cannot stare at the flame of a candle without blinking your eye for more than 30 seconds.
Exactly, which is true. Yes, I've tried that actually. You're very correct when
Yes,
you say that. Yes.
and but as time went by, I kept trying and trying and trying. I came to a point where I was
Mm,
able to do it for almost 2 hours.
mm,
And without
correct.
me noticing, there was a calmness within me, but more than anything, my brain became sharper. Now that's even more of a trouble.
Yeah.
I could remember
Okay.
things, I could remember phone numbers, I could remember an entire textbook. Those kind of things happen. But at the same time, I started believing and bifurcating my thoughts,
Mm,
prioritizing what your brain is throwing at you. This is
mm,
priority, this is not priority. What is it that is important to my life today at this moment? What am I dealing with? Is all this gibberish important, or is this what is the most important thing I need to concentrate on? And that comes with lots of self discipline. And at the same time, I don't listen to everything my mind says.
mm, correct.
Yeah.
So, what is the amazing connection? Because I'd love to hear, and I think our audience would love to hear the connections that we have between our mind, our body, and our soul. So, take it away.
One of my
I'm going to
most
put
favorite questions.
I'm going to put you on center stage now. So you're the main person.
Thank you.
Let's talk
Oh,
about connectivity.
thank you so very much, Jennifer. That's one of the most beautiful questions I like to
Okay.
address. As a human being,
Okay.
when the day that we are created is the day that our
Mm,
mind starts working. So the thoughts start from the womb, and you carry those thoughts, you build on
mm,
it, and then when you are born and you start realizing that these are thoughts,
mm,
I can think, I can do things. The connection of your mind is directly
mm,
proportional to what your soul is. Now, something that I would love to say, which probably might not sound so, beautiful, is if you think that your mind is the universe and it can think beautiful things, it can do beautiful things, then this body that you carry, where your soul exists, becomes any, I mean, we are not talking religious, it can be temple, church, whatever
mm,
you want to take, it doesn't matter. But it holds something called your soul. Your soul is immortal. Your soul remains immortal. And your body reacts to what your mind is thinking. Your soul is feeling because it has feelings. And your heart is also connected directly to your mind. And with these two, your body reacts. So you
mm,
keep your thoughts clean and pure,
mm,
positive, and your body reacts positively.
mm, mm,
Right? So one of the most beautiful thing that I believe is that the more positive you are, the more fresh you are, your face shows it, your body reacts to it, and your soul also feels it. It's a journey. But if you're going to be negative, then your body is a coffin for the soul. You either walk as a live coffin because you're just a dead body with a dead soul and a mind that is useless, or you have a very productive, positive brain, positive thought process, and that rejuvenates you, and it rejuvenates the aura around you, the place around you, the people around you, and you exude sunshine. So this is
Brilliant.
something that I imbibed within my life. And I still remember I was a 19-year-old girl in New York, and I was working in this laboratory. And every day I would walk in and go, "Good morning, everybody." And they named me Sunshine. And to this day, most people who know me call me Sunshine. Am I
Okay,
something special?
just a second. Yeah, we just lost you over there before you said sunshine. What did you say when you were in New York after that?
When I was in New York, I was working in a laboratory. I was 19 years old. So
Okay.
when I was 19, every day I would walk into the lab at 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier, and go, "Good morning, people. How are you?" And this is me even today, by the way. And they named me Sunshine. And that
Mm,
sunshine is something not because I was special, not because I was sunshine. It is because they felt that when I came in, I spread cheer. I spread. So I know that you have spoken about it so many times. It doesn't cost you to smile. When
absolutely,
you
it doesn't.
smile, when you feel happy, the smile is for real. It reaches your eyes. You could see it in the face. And you see that the person is genuinely happy for you, no matter what it is. And the mind reacts to this because the positive. So we have a psychosomatic system, right?
Mm.
And a parasympathetic system that is within us. It is inbuilt in us. It reacts. And when you smile, when you're happy, when you're positive, you have the happy hormones that make you look very beautiful, make you look young, make you stay young, and your body reacts to this happiness. It doesn't feel tired, and you're energized. So there is a
So
connection.
there's definitely a connection. I can't agree with you more. And the way that I have looked at it and worked on this particular area is like whatever is your thoughts actually carry an energy, big time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And wherever you put your attention is that's where your energy flows. So if you're running those amazing thoughts in our head, it has to show somewhere. And where can it
Yes.
show? In our body.
On
So
your body.
it's actually it's so basic, but I think most of the time we are so occupied with our in our head that we don't even consider to be able to check our thoughts to find
Yes.
out what really serves us. Is this actually contributing? Because it's almost like being on a hamster wheel, and I'm glad we're having these conversations because it is more about helping everyone to understand that all three, your your mind, your body, and your soul actually is connected,
Yeah.
and uh, and is actually one. But
Yeah.
do you see that in this kind of world that we're living in, where everyone is on a rat race and in urgency of doing whatever or reaching somewhere and yet not being able to reach anywhere? Quite honestly, sometimes you see in a world of this sort that what we're talking about right now does resonate, or do you sense that it is something that people it's very alien to people, and possibly that's why we're actually talking about it. What are your views on that?
I agree with you. Some time ago, I remember telling people. We were just in a group, and I said everybody is in a rat race, running on a treadmill, reaching nowhere. The treadmill says you have completed 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and yet you are at the same spot. You have not gone anywhere.
Right.
So, if we realize that irrespective of how fast we are thinking,
Mm,
today is a fact, tomorrow is only an opinion, and yesterday is history.
totally.
And then
100.
we pay attention to today, the now, and stop running in that rat race to plan for 30 years ahead, 40 years ahead. You don't even know if you're going to live tomorrow morning. Now, what drives that particular thought process to plan for 30 years ahead. It's that pure faith, a blind faith within you that I am going to live. I believe I can do this. But why can't we use that same faith of the universe, that the universe conspires with you when you start believing that whatever I want and whatever I deserve will come back to me if I am taking care of myself today. If I do not live today, I cannot live to fight for tomorrow. So
mm,
the rat race, yes, I agree. Everything is as good as yesterday. Everybody wants everything done today. Everybody wants to achieve so much in a short time. So this the sense of impatience is everywhere. If we are talking about it today, my point is, irrespective of what you do, how much you run, how much you want, whatever pressure you take, the pressure stays.
mm,
If by
true.
you worrying, running, rushing, not paying attention to yourself, killing yourself to do something, if all that is being solved, and at the end of all these tensions and everything else that you're taking, it goes away, and whatever your problem you're having gets solved, then I shall accept that all this, and it doesn't. Because at the end of that, you smoke, you drink, because I'm so stressed out, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh my God, I have to do 3 jobs to do. Irrespective of all that, if it is meant to be, and if it is good for you, it shall happen for you.
Mm.
So, can we stop and think today is a fact? How can I make myself a better version of myself from yesterday?
Okay,
What
so
can I
I'm going to,
create? Yeah.
yeah. No, please carry on. Please complete that. What can I create?
So, what can I create for today that can be on the footprints, on the sands of time itself? I need footprints on the sands of time
Mm,
for people to remember me by as somebody who brought in so much of sunshine, so much of
mm,
happiness, so much, because there was, this is a person who felt everybody was one.
mm,
The more we divide people, the more we divide ourselves into little boxes. I must do this, I must do this, I should do this, I should do that. Can we just exist and say, this is what I want to be, and everything that has to happen, I will work hard. That's not a problem,
mm,
but it shall
mm.
happen because it shall be meant to. It's meant to be. And let me not join the rat race and be on the treadmill, going nowhere, but thinking that I'm
Okay,
going somewhere.
okay. I've got another opinion on that, and perhaps you can add value to it. So I think what we are is a complete jumble sale of our thoughts, feelings, and
Yeah.
emotions. Okay, what occurs is that we have been entrained into our thinking,
Yeah.
and constantly we are wanting to find out, or rather experience, that whatever we are thinking is the only way of thinking, the only way of doing, the only way of being in this world,
Yes.
right? So essentially, we are holding on to the patterns of how we are, what we are, how do we show up, and this is the right way, and there's no other way, right? So now, if we are constantly in that mode, do you think it is? I mean, I'm asking the audience, not you. I'm asking everyone who's listening in. And if you feel that that is the only way and the right way and the perfect way, and there's no other way possibly, and you've tried it, and you've been on it, and you've actually done it, and you're doing it continuously, has it brought you any change? Or is it for you to stop and ask yourself? Don't ask anybody, ask yourself, is this actually working for me? And if not, then perhaps want to listen in and say, this makes a lot of sense. Let's actually consider this. What are these women talking about? I think it might be a cool thing to actually look at it. Check in yourself. Don't take our word for it.
Yes.
It's really interesting to check for you, because you are the creator of your reality, nobody
Yes.
else. And we want to keep saying that we want to change the world, we want to fix the world, we want to do this, we want to do that. But the only thing that you can really change is yourself.
Yourself.
So, how
Yep.
are we thinking? What are we feeling? Because our thoughts, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kavita, our thoughts actually create our feelings and our emotions.
Yes. Yes.
Because it is the
Yes.
energy in motion which is creating the emotion that transmits neurologically into our body for us to actually be in whatever state we are choosing to be. Would you
Very
agree
much.
on something like that?
I totally agree. I totally agree. I come from a healthcare background and I have seen some very interesting cases. And as a matter of fact, I am one of them too. When I was diagnosed with something, I believe that I'm not going to concentrate on this diagnosis, but I'm going to believe that I'm going to enjoy every minute of whatever time I have left.
Mm,
And lo and behold, 7 years later, I still stay because it is that belief, it's the mind over matter that brings upon a change within your body. And one has to have faith in themselves, their thought process, whatever powers in the universe that is there. There are powers in the universe, and they're positive powers that you believe in. And at the same time, read your own book. We can read 3 million books in this world and say, oh, I'm a well read person. But if you have not read yourself and you don't know yourself better than anybody else, you've not read anything. You're as illiterate as the next person. Read your
absolutely
own
true.
book.
So
Yeah.
this is an interesting thing. I remember, and this is not something new. This has been going on for eons and eons, ages. That it's actually a known thing. I remember one of the
Yeah.
quotes from Aristotle was "Know thyself."
Yes.
If
Yes.
you don't know it, that's the part. Do we really know ourselves? Do we really want to um, actually come up with situations where people are going to want to really get to know you, or is it important? I think things have to change. The narrative has to change.
Yeah.
In that,
Yes.
are we are we waiting to be validated by external parties, or are we choosing to step into our own reality? Because
Exactly.
I think there's a total disconnect over there, because it is
Yes.
all it's a freaking rat race. What are they
Yeah.
saying? How are they saying? How they're liking me? Are they liking me? And I think to myself like, oh my God, how much energy is wasted in trying to prove that you're valuable,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Now you're now this is something that excites me, intrigues me, and sometimes I go into this thing of what on earth is this? So, are we waiting to be liked by somebody and get all those amazing emojis or thank you very
Check
much
marks.
and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you're awesome, the check mark, all the check marks? Now, the question that I'd like to pose to you is, in doing that, do you believe that we are expending our energy on trying to be liked by somebody while not knowing who we are? I mean, how does that work? Does it work?
No, it doesn't. So, what a valid question. Can you imagine? Just think about this. All these, the younger generation, when I was talking to my children and and their friends, this is one of the things. Oh, I posted something. I got 1,000 likes. I got 5 likes. Oh my God, I got only 5 likes. Oh my God, I got 30,000 likes. Oh my God, I have so many. So we are validating ourselves with the likes and the dislikes and the comments of people we don't even know. We don't even know if they're real. And we are trying to validate who we are based on somebody else because our it is that false ego that becomes so thrilled with the fact that, oh my God, I have so many followers, or oh my God, so many people like me. Does it really matter that you have 10,000 people who do not know you, who do not know your life, because you have chosen not to know yourself, but you're expecting validation and liking and certification from somebody else? Or does it matter that the 5 people who are around you know you because you know yourself so well and like you and love you so much? And that is your validation. Do you even know yourself enough to lose your ego and be grounded enough to know that as a human being, I am not perfect. Point number one. I am not perfect. I will never be perfect. And I choose not to be perfect because I am perfectly imperfect and perfect in my imperfections. It's a very important thing.
This is the
Can we
amazing part.
choose?
So this is an interesting, yeah, it's an interesting thing that you bring up. It's like this stigma that we have of perfection. Okay, I'm a strong advocate of change is constant, but changing is a
Yeah.
personal choice. Okay, but
Yes.
if you look at it, everything is changing dynamically in nanoseconds all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you consider yourself perfect right now, if you're perfect and you've done the presentation, everything is looking awesome, and it's like, yalla, let's do it. It's really awesome, and I'm gonna be something. And then in a couple of seconds later, it's like it's not really perfect, is it? Because according to what you're thinking in that present moment, it's
Yeah.
not really going to be. Because sometimes it takes me a lot of time
Yeah.
to actually write something that is really going to be cool because I'm tapping into the frequency of what is required to be shared in that moment.
At that
Okay.
moment. Yes.
So exactly, because it's all about being in that moment. Most of the time, we are not in any moment, and we are constantly. We've got some people who are writing it. So let's just take a time to. Yeah, we have Blue Tie International. I think the lady's name is Rebecca,
Mm.
and she's a Columbia country chair. It's only when we stop chasing external validation that we truly begin to know
Know
ourselves.
ourselves. Yes. Yes. What a
So,
lovely
thank
point,
you.
Rebecca. Thank you.
It's really an amazing thing to look at. We've got let's look at some other amazing information. We've
Ah,
got Natalie Forrest, who's our Germany country chair from G1 and Oneness and Wisdom. She says, "I'm thinking about the song. Try anything, see what resonates most. Then you can mix
mix and
and
match and
match
create a
and
story.
create
Love
a
that.
story." That's a cool thing to
Love
say.
that,
Thanks,
Natalie.
Nat. Really
Thanks.
great. Really great. So Rebecca is saying thank you for acknowledging what she's saying and sharing what we are sharing. So that's awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. So
Thanks,
let's
Becky.
come back to let's come back to this thing of so we've covered the mind, we've covered the body, which is our energy shifting into our body through our neurological system of our thoughts and then expressing itself through the energy that comes out through our emotions because our emotions it's like energy in motion and it starts making our body move. So if we're happy,
Yes.
okay, the happiness is a choice. Many people don't want to go there because they rather be consumed with choosing. Now, I think there's something. I'll correct myself there. I stand corrected. Are people choosing to be happy or choosing not to consider happiness as a choice?
Ah, I think it is the latter. You're right. The reason why is because of the fact that people are also afraid to be genuinely happy
Hmm.
because they do
Why
not,
is that?
they do
Why
not
is that? Kavitha?
because of the fact that there are many people believe that when they are happy they have everybody's attention on them and their success somehow will be hindered is one fear because it is again notion back or you shouldn't be very happy because nazar lag jayegi, evil eye.
Ah, the evil
Ah,
eye.
yeah. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Okay. Yeah.
that's an
Okay. The
interesting thing.
next thing is there are many people who genuinely do not know how to be happy because the sense of happiness would come in if you have begun the journey that you need to internally. And when you internally begin
That's
a
again,
journey and you know yourself, yeah,
which
then you
which is
find the
again
universe
takes
within
us
you.
again exactly. So the thing is that do we really, and this is a question to everybody who's listening, do we really need external factors to experience being happy? Or it can happiness be something that we can actually sense and feel just by being with ourselves? Because I don't have to have running around in the supermarkets or buying expensive clothes. Not that it's a bad thing, I love to do that. But it's about, do we depend, and this is the question, do we depend on external factors to make us feel happy? And if so, how is it working most of the time? And what can we do to change? I'm asking a very large question. Um,
Yeah.
what can we do to actually shift and change that so that we can experience happiness without external factors, if that's possible?
Lovely question. I do hope I get some answers from the audience there too. But one of
Yes,
the most
guys, please
important
write
things,
in.
yeah, the temporary gratification of something that is going to make you happy by spending great amounts of money is just temporary. But at the same time, being friends with yourself, loving your solitariness, and finding the time to be with yourself and not wanting something to make you happy in itself is an achievement. Is it easy? No. Is it not? No. If you choose for something to be very easy, it comes naturally to you.
Hmm.
It comes naturally to you because of the fact that you have chosen that. But if you don't want to choose happiness over everything else, think about it. Happiness is only three muscles, guys. The
Hmm.
smile is just three muscles. And what do you gain from it? Just imagine, go out every day in the morning, whoever is in front of you, walking in front of you, you meet the grouchiest person, smile and say good morning. A smile can only get a smile in return.
Which
That's
is
the best
absolutely
part.
true.
Yeah,
Which
because
is
it is
very true.
contagious.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you smile, you can have an accident, you could do something, and then you say, I'm so sorry, and smile. The person just immediately would smile back at you
Melt.
because it's just,
They melt. A
yeah,
smile melts the
yes,
emotion that is not
yes,
working. We've
exactly.
got a gentleman by the name of Praveen.
Praveen Bangera, yes.
Praveen,
Hi, Praveen. I
I
am
am
not
not
what
what
you
you think
think.
I am, you, and what you think I am.
You
Very
are what
profound
you think
statement.
I am. Very profound.
So,
Okay.
but that is the whole essence is about being one, right? There's no
Yes,
separation, and
there
that is
is no
what it is that
separation.
we have to focus on.
Yes,
Because if I'm hurting you, I'm hurting me,
yes,
right? Pretty much the
yes.
same. We have
Yeah,
Sri Vidya. Sri Vidya has come up with something. Happiness is all
happiness is
about
hope.
transcending our own definitions of happiness. The magic is in three words: I
I'm
am
happy.
happy. Yo, Vidya, Sri
Yours.
Vidya, well said. Thank you. Thank you.
Well said. Well said.
We have another
Thank you
one,
so much.
Rebecca. Rebecca is saying,
Ah,
when you choose your own happiness, you take
you take
control
control.
of your well being.
Simple.
Totally. Now,
Yes,
look at the
yes,
amount of amazing um, people that we have that already know about happiness. Oh my God,
yes, yes.
everyone really knows. I want someone who is actually listening to us pose a question if you're not happy, because we have everyone agreeing with us. I don't want everyone agreeing with us. I want to here to to shake things up. Tell me, and let's get it from Kavitha, who is our expert in this particular topic, as to what it is that you need to actually shift and change for you to be happy. So, anyone who's out there who's really not happy right now, please write in, because it's not about agreeing with us. I want people to disagree because then we can shift and change dynamic. Okay. Okay.
So
That's what I love
let's
about these
let's sort of
times,
break it up.
because that's exactly what I'm saying. It's not about, oh, listen to me, I have all the answers. Hell no, we don't.
Yeah,
We are learning from one another. And now look at these amazing people who are writing in. We've got
yeah,
Srividya, Rebecca, uh, Praveen, we've got Natalie. All of them are writing and giving us their views
yes, yes.
on the topic that we're talking about. So it's not that people don't know. Now I'd like to talk about, how does all of this impact our soul?
Very much. Now, one of the most beautiful things that I learned as a very, very young girl, my mother always used to say, your soul has an imprint of all your lives and everything that you do and everything that you think. And I was a very young girl, and I said, how so? How so? And she said, well, I'll give you an experiment. She said, you're going to wake up in the morning and start thinking, I am sick.
Mm.
Okay? She said, think I am sick and I am a nobody. And I said, that's easy. Okay. I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. And I was a notorious girl. Walked around the entire home, went to school thinking I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and thought that I was, believe it or not, that afternoon I got punished by the teacher because I actually thought I was useless. I cannot do something. It impacted internally, and I actually made mistakes on a subject that I never made mistakes on a test that I never made mistakes on, which I was 100 out of 100, and then came back home, tripped and fell. Now I'm one of those active girls who was, and then I came home. I said, wait a minute. So many things happened, Mama. She said, what did you do? I said, well, I kept thinking all day that I'm useless. And I also thought that I'm sick. She said, how are you feeling now? I said, my whole body is hurting. And I became feverish. Now, this goes to show that was an experiment that she let me go through. That was my mom. But do we do that to our children? We don't. So think about
This
it.
is
Take about,
interesting.
don't,
So, so am I to hear and am I to actually say to you, are you a powerful creator?
ah, I wouldn't say so. But
But you
at the
are.
same
You
time,
were created. One second. Let me just bring that to your amazing attention, Kavitha. This is what I find so amazing. As children, we are not
yes,
afraid to experience anything, right?
exactly. Yes,
So you as a child said, okay, I'm going to be curious and I'm going to check it out. So I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and da 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 da. And then you create it. How amazing is that? My
yeah,
question to everyone who's listening in is, if you can actually resonate with what Kavita has just said, being a child, and it's not, as a child, she was able to generate and create that as her reality. Okay. Are we and have we as adults given up being childlike?
exactly. This is what I was coming
Where
to.
is our curiosity? Why are we trying to be so like, we have all the no, you don't. We are
You don't.
continuously emerging, continuously growing, continuously becoming grander versions, as you said, of ourselves.
Yes,
But we've
yes,
got to get out of our own way of thinking first,
yes,
right?
yes.
So
We have to
we've
stop
got,
adulting all the time.
yeah, seriously. I mean, and it's not considered professional for you to laugh and joke. Excuse me. In the corporate
Oh, yeah,
world,
yeah, yeah.
you've got to
My
be serious.
goodness. Oh, my
So
goodness.
I think we're changing that for sure. We've got
Yes.
Rebecca, who's written something which is interesting, and it is about our G100 Oneness and Wisdom Wing. As leaders, how can we create an environment that encourages others to find happiness within themselves, especially when they may be struggling to feel it? Oh my
What a
God,
lovely
Rebecca, what
question.
awesome, awesome question. Thank you
What
for
an aw-
asking.
what an awesome question.
Uh,
Uh,
Kavita.
I I met Kristen, who happens to be our country chair, way before I joined G100. And it was such a coincidence that Harbin sends a message into my inbox to explore being part of G100. And I have met Kirsten and I've spoken about how can we impact this world in a different way. And she gets appointed as a country chair. And she said, I have something nice to tell you. So everything is happening together. And at that point of time, the minute Harbin told me you can choose this and you can choose to be one of the country chairs, I have gone and checked all the country chairs. The first thing that I did was I saw oneness and wisdom. Now, Kristen has just been appointed country chair of Oneness and Wisdom. And she said there are two things. You can choose to be one of the other things because Harbin said I could fit into philanthropy and entrepreneurship or something like that. And I looked at it and I said, it's a very interesting thing, but guess what? I would rather be part of oneness and wisdom. So the Dubai chair it is. Why? Because as a child, my first question was, how can we erase borders and be borderless entities? How can we
Absolutely.
be one? How can I, who has this different body, different color, be one with somebody who's sitting in Germany or in Switzerland or in Pakistan or in Bangladesh? Or how? Because we all die the same way, we're born the same way, unless and until somebody tells me, oh, my blood is blue or your blood is green. And if I cut myself, oh, I don't bleed, but if I cut you, you will bleed. No, so, what is it that we have been created for? Have we ever thought about it? A
True.
beautiful poetry that was written by Allama Iqbal, because I'm a poet and I write in Urdu and I write in English. That touched my soul. He says that we were created to be there for each other. That's the only thing
Okay.
we're not doing, by the way. We were created with a
Absolutely.
purpose of being there for each other, or he had enough angels to sing his praise. That's what Allama Iqbal says. He says he has enough angels to sing his praise. So please, guys, be there for each other. And that is what we cannot. Now, what can we do in the Oneness and Wisdom Wing as leaders? Instead
For
of,
happiness,
you know,
it's like the
yes,
environment that encourages happiness, because I
yes,
think
one of the,
happiness across the board is what it is
yes,
that we would need to
yes,
get. So yeah, so please do share. What do you think that
very,
we should have
very
in our
importantly
environment that
for me,
encourages?
yes. So, how do I create that environment? Is the minute today morning, I will tell you what happened. I get into a taxi, a Sharjah taxi, and the first thing I do is I say, Assalamu alaikum, and I smile. That guy looks at me and says, oh my gosh, my day is going to be beautiful today. And I said, oh,
Hmm.
why so? He says, in my entire life as a taxi driver for the past 10 years, you're the second person who smiled at me like sunshine and put some happiness into my, and you really wished me like a normal human being. So, can we normalize this particular habit of being happy and smiling and put some smile in somebody else's face or asking somebody, is there something wrong? Can I help you? If you, it doesn't have to be money. It can be a simple sentence like, "Be you sort it." If nobody else is doing it, I am a leader. What I would like is when I'm around my employees or when I'm around my colleagues, when I'm around whoever that I am leading, can I just ask, "Is everything okay?" And listen, please. It's not, "Is everything all right?" and then keep going. No, listen. You need to listen today, because if you don't listen to what's happening in somebody's life, the smallest thing is everything okay? Just by looking at them. And if they want to speak to you, stay and listen. You might be having the most important of meetings, but a human being needs you that point. It might be saving them from something. How many people have missed out on this one little moment and committed suicide or gone into depression? You never know what anybody is going through. So can we there
You have
be there for
never
each
ever
other?
walked in anybody
Yeah.
else's shoes
Anybody?
either, okay?
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
why, and to answer your question, Rebecca, and everyone else who is listening in, engagement is
Yeah.
what it is that we believe in, that needs to, an engagement that actually requires communication. We need to
Yeah.
communicate with one another so that we can actually truly get to know what is going on, because many people are alienating themselves,
Yes.
and it's because they're too busy, or I don't want to talk to you because I have an interesting way of thinking and I'm upset with you. Life's too short, people.
Yeah.
We
Too
need to
short.
actually get
Too.
out of this thing of not looking at it. We've got Sri Vidya who is saying very profound. We
Yeah.
are created to be there for each other. Very true. But the question
Yeah.
over here is, we're all agreeing to everything. I would like to um, put the spoke in the wheel here, because I love to do that. It's not to it's not to just go on, everything's hunky dory, because it's not. Okay,
It is
you look
not.
around, you look
It is
around,
not.
and
It's
everyone
not.
is having their own, bad hair
Yeah.
day, so to speak. Okay,
Yeah.
My question to everyone is that it all may be very profound and we are all created to be there for each other, which we, I know, as our group, really are there for one another. But let me ask this question, for people who are not there for one another, what's stopping you? What is stopping you? And I want some kind of responses. Kavitha
Yes.
is not Kavitha, myself.
I
If
would
you
love
have,
to know.
okay, we both really would love to know from the
Yeah,
audience if you
we
guys
would love to
understand
know.
what stops you, and please be authentic. Don't give me
Yeah.
anyone else's answers. I want to know from you what stops you, literally, when we're talking about being profound and everything. And I like this thing about being profound because every time we're being profound, we have found something within ourselves, quite honestly.
Yes.
I like the word profound. I'm waiting for responses. What stops us
Yes.
from actually having fun and being authentic
Yeah. And what stops us from being there for each other? Why are
and
we
for each
not
other?
there for each other? Yeah. Why can't we
Okay,
be there for each other?
exactly. What's stopping us? That's the thing. So, in the meantime, till the time that they come in, I'm going to take you to another realm and then we will come back to the responses that we have. I
Sure.
would love for our audience, because we have time, we've got 15 minutes to go. I would love for more questions to be posed to both to Kavita and myself, if you'd like, so that we can respond to you. So please do that so that we can really make this conversation a worthwhile conversation for everyone to benefit from. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the soul. I want to know, and everyone else, how does our mind, so our thoughts, our feelings, which is our emotions, impact our soul? You mentioned things like on that already, but I'd like a little more meat to be put on that area so that we can see the amazing transitions that we make within and how things actually flow so we can be in a proper flow going forward. So, if you would like to share a little bit more around the soul area that is
Yeah.
impacted by our thoughts and feelings.
Yes. One of the most important things that I would like to now talk about is we as human beings love facts.
Oh, yes.
We love facts. It is logical. This is a fact. Science has proven this. History has shown this, etc., etc., etc. The fact is, again, that you exist. You did not have a choice to be born. You're defined by your choices, correct? Now, everything that you think makes an imprint on your soul because somewhere at some point of time you say, oh, I have sixth sense, or it was a deja vu. We love the word. Why do you think there is a deja vu when you go to certain places? Why do you think that there is a connect that is deeper than you can even explain when you meet someone? Or why is it that something that I said or somebody said resonate
Triggered you.
with something very, very, very deep within you? It is because at some point of time, somewhere in this world, somewhere in this universe, either you and I existed at the same time, or what I have said has been repeated at some time and has made an imprint of the soul, because the soul picks up the journey of every body that it has been in.
Absolutely.
Whether it has been as part of a thief, it has been a part of a king, or it has been a part of a dancer. You might see
Mhm.
somebody has two left legs, but you might see somebody who's amazing as soon as they're born. We see little children who are 2 years and 3 years old singing songs from the 1934s, 1940s, and we're wondering, oh my God, this child is a prodigy. No, the soul is the prodigy. The soul has carried an imprint of a mind that has resonated and imprinted on it from the sands of time that were there for eons and eons and eons. And this soul of yours carries things that are from, we may not believe in past births, but it believes the journey from the time you were made as a blood clot when your heart started beating.
mm,
And it carries the journey that is within the mother's womb. And if you want to test that, and if anybody pregnant in the audience, kindly keep saying good morning, little baby, to that pregnant mother. And once the baby is born, if that same voice does not resonate with that baby, and he or she hasn't seen you, does not know you, but will know that voice, because
exactly,
that
which is
soul
exactly the thing.
connects.
Is- mm.
Because the
And why is
soul
it
is
that,
like, yeah,
yeah, and
go ahead.
the another question is, why do children resonate with certain people? Okay, like
Exactly.
I have a little sweet little nephew. He's like 3 years old right now. I beg your pardon, not nephew. He's like my grandson, and he's 3 years old. But the weirdest thing is that I used to communicate with him when he was in his mom's womb. In fact, he told me that he was ready to come out, and I told my darling niece, I said, please go to the hospital because he's ready to show up now, and he did. Okay, so the
Wow.
question is this: Do we do they resonate? Yes, and you're very right when you say that. You see, these are the kind of things that people really need to venture into, to even consider. Don't buy into it. Do a bit of research for yourself. Speak about it.
Yes.
Listen to people who speak about it, and it may make a difference. So we have got some people who've come up with some
Wow.
interesting things. Okay, so now this is not a question. This is a declaration. I think
Yeah.
Srividya said self. So usually when people have self doubt and fear and being preoccupied in their own world, at times stops us from being there for each other. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's cool.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that, Srividya. We have another
Thank you,
one.
Shivitya.
Um, the mind seeks logic, but the spirit seeks meaning. Do you believe that faith
Faith can
can
change the
change
way.
the way we interpret facts,
Oh,
especially in moments of emotional and spiritual crisis? Good question. Thank you, Rebecca.
lovely question. Lovely question.
Okay,
One of my favorites.
let's go with a response over there. What
One
exactly
of
is the
my favorites because of the fact that this is something
logic?
that I am preparing, by the way, for a TED talk. Literally, faith, fact versus faith, and the facts of faith. So, when I will tell you a very simple story, and it is my real story. I came to Dubai 2 years ago as an entrepreneur, did not have any investment, but I had a strategy, I had a plan, I had registered my business, and I had two amazing partners who were with me. We had a product, and we said, you know what, we're going to rock this product with this, and this is what it is. And I said, you know what, I'm burning ships and I'm moving to Dubai. And they said, are you crazy? And I said, no, I'm not. I have faith, and I moved. Now, 3 months into my journey in Dubai, I did not have money to pay my rent. And I'm going to be very honest because I'm actually revealing something that many people do not know. What did I do? Did I say, okay, now I have to pack up my bags? Do I panic? Do I start crying? What do I do? I had faith in the fact that the universe is going to help me to achieve, because my purpose behind why I am here is to serve humanity, to serve mankind, because I promised my mother as a 17-year-old child that I would feed as many people as possible, educate as many people as possible, and employ as many people as possible. And I promised I will never give up in my life, irrespective of what happens. And I believe that, and believe it or not, I did not have money to pay my rent. I don't know what happened till this day. To me, the only thing I remember is faith. I did not have a job. I survived for 1 year in Dubai without a job. But at the right time, I got my food. I was able to pay my bills because some consultant thing would come up and I was able to do it. All of a sudden, 1 year passed by and I said, oh my God, our license is going to expire. How do we have it? I had faith. And that faith that the universe will provide for me got me my third partner. And we got our investment. It was faith. Emotionally, I can say, oh my God, everything is draining, everything is going to lose, we are going to sink. I can keep on saying that, and that's exactly what will happen, because the universe does not recognize negatives. It recognizes only positive. And hence, every time you think negatively, it gives you an abundance, because the universe exists to give in abundance. So whether you think
This is
negative or positive people, you will get back in abundance.
this is an interesting thing. There's another experience that I have had, and it has been more like, when we are in prayer. What do we usually
Yeah.
do in prayer? God, can I have this? Can I need this. I want this. I need this. I want this. I need this. I want this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's always about a needing and a want, and a needing and a want. And as we all know, and it is just stated, the universe is there to respond to what you have just said. Okay,
Yes.
I need and I want. So guess what? The response mechanism is going to be, okay, no problem, my child. Carry on needing and carry on wanting.
And you're wanting.
Right? Nothing's going to show up.
Yes.
So unless we
Exactly.
go into this thing like, okay, what will it take to change this? We've got to eliminate all the conclusionary sentences that we have. I want this, I need this, oh, this is the only way, right way, and flip all those into questions and allow the universe, God, higher power, Allah, Jesus, whoever you believe in, to actually listen to you
Yeah.
and to provide for you.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that
Yes.
is faith. Okay.
Yes.
Facts is good.
It does
Facts
not have a
is,
logic.
that's the thing. And there's no logical explanation for
There's no
things that have
logic.
just occurred. I mean, I've had so many miraculous things happening in my life. It's like logically, and no matter how much you think about it, it did not seem possible
Yeah.
at all. But
Yeah.
I keep saying we are the possibility walking on 2 feet.
Yes.
Are we willing to
Yes.
recognize that within ourselves? I think we are just about coming up to 3 minutes before it becomes an hour. Um,
One of the
is there anyone who
I
would like to say anything that you would
yeah.
like to close up with?
Any questions? But I would definitely love to say, see, all of us need to find, okay, it some guide that you can resonate with, or you can surrender yourself to. And it might be just an entity that doesn't exist in this universe, and the universe itself can be your guide. But surrendering is very important, which is when your ego is gone. And when you don't have an ego, you seek help. When you don't have an
There's a
ego, you stop feeling ashamed. When you don't have an ego, you can have blind faith. And that faith is what gets you from point A to point B, because you have just surrendered and said, you know what, I will do whatever is in my power to achieve what I want, but I am going to leave the results to you, and I will accept whatever it is, because you know better, the universe knows better, or whoever you believe in, the supreme, knows better for you. You know yourself better. You want it, but stop wanting, and always be in a lack sense of,
Yeah, that's the thing. The lack
yeah,
is and limitation is absolutely
yes, yes,
it's
you are
driving everyone.
everything.
Now,
Exactly.
now I'm going to come into before we go. There's another thing. So yeah, we're talking about faith and having faith. When people do not have money to survive, okay, like you experience, like I have experienced also. Okay, I think everyone has experienced that at some
Yeah,
time
yeah,
or the
all
other.
of us. Yeah,
But the amazing part is this: what do we do then to shift the mindset into faith when we have freaking bills to pay?
exactly.
Okay, so that is what it is that many people are experiencing, and we may seem as having all the answers, but then again, what can be done at that time when people are actually experiencing not having money? Where does faith
Internalize.
come in? Sorry?
Believe me, internalize. Internalize within yourself instead of exuding that, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and believe that the creator who has provided for you, if the trees are getting planted, there are forests, there are animals getting fed, there are fishes that are everybody, every living being that exists on this earth that is created, everything is being provided for. You will also be provided for because you in yourself are a universe. Unless and until you believe in it, it shall not happen. So, yes, it is difficult to find faith when you have to pay bills. But let me tell you something. If you can just close your eyes for that 10 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever time you find, close your eyes and believe, I am going to get my bills paid in the next half an hour or next day.
The other way that I do it. Thank you for that, Kavitha. The other thing that I do is I actually look around, and even if there's anything that is really dire and requires my attention, I will actually look around me and go into this space of gratitude.
Yes,
Thank you for the
that's
breath
very
that I have.
important.
Thank you for the
Yes,
life that I have. Thank you for the
yes,
people that I have in life.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for the food that I have. Thank you for the
yes,
clothes that I wear. Thank you for
yeah.
the house that I am in, you know. When we come into the space of gratitude, it takes us to a higher altitude
Oh,
where we can
yes,
actually receive, receive, know, and be the
very,
space
very
of
much.
gratitude that actually brings in everything to us with
It
total
brings you
ease.
one with
And
everybody and everything in this world. Being thankful is so important
for the
because
moment, right?
if you don't know how to be
Because
thankful, Jennifer and I think we resonate with that. I work in an organization for specially abled people. Just look around, go spend a day or even half an hour, and then you can realize how grateful you must be and how thankful you must be that you have all that you need to function. There is another world out there that none
which
of you
is really
know.
great. Now, there, for example, I am a mother of a very specially abled young lady. Okay,
Exactly.
and I can say that because today itself, I actually sat Sasha down and I said, you know, Sasha, thank you so much for being in my world and in my universe. You have been my teacher. And she looks at me and she says, really, Mama? I said, yes, darling. I said, because you have taught me patience. You have
Yes.
taught me how to be meticulous. You have
Yeah.
taught me never to resent anyone, not to feel hurt anyone.
Yeah.
You've taught me how to be this person who does not get angry or irritated. She keeps reminding me of that all the time because I see her, and what a gift to have. Seriously, what a
Yes.
gift to have in my own home, and who
Yes.
teaches me this, and who is a living, walking, and talking example of
Yeah.
what all of this
Yeah.
is that we talked about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
ladies and gents, we have been having the pleasure, at least I have, and I'm quite sure you guys have too, of speaking with Kavitha, who is an embodiment of inspiration and resilience, a serial entrepreneur, a woman who
Thank
has
you.
been through hell and back and has learned the art of surrender. And we have actually learned a lot from her today. And we are not going to just stop here. We're going to call you back because there are a lot of things that we all would like to learn and share from you, with
My
you as
pleasure.
well. Um, so we were speaking to Kavita, who has done an amazing job, and I hope everyone really enjoyed this conversation. And these conversations and rejuvenate our festival over here of rejuvenation are all impromptu. Nothing is scripted. So whatever
Yeah.
it is that resonates in that moment, because I think Kavita and myself both operate from being in the present moment. And I think that is so essential for everyone. So thank you everyone who's showed up, who's supported our conversations, who's listening to this now, and who's going to listen it in the future. And I hope it actually resonates with you and creates something phenomenal. Before we go, there's something that I think Rebecca has written. Wow, it's a long one. When someone is experiencing financial difficulties, it's crucial to remind them that their current situation doesn't define their future. Very true. I will leave that long comment, Rebecca, for us to be able to look at
Yeah, and
and
we will
also
answer
to
to it.
read at, and we will answer to it. And anyone who has questions, because this conversation can keep going,
Yeah,
and we don't want to limit it, but let's carry on. Let us connect with each other and let's
yes.
see what we can create for one another. Having said that, have a very pleasant evening and thank you very much, Kavita, for being with me.
Thank you so very much, Jennifer, for having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining on this. Please do connect wherever I can. If I can be there for you at any point of time, even to just listen to you, kindly reach out to me. That's one of my favorite pastimes. And do always
And this
remember
is
you're born by chance and you're defined by your choices.
absolutely so. What are we choosing? What are we creating? And what magic can we bring together? Reach out to both of us. We are G100, Oneness
The
and Wisdom.
oneness and wisdom wing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you
Good
and
night, everybody.
bye.
Bye bye. Have a good weekend. Love you all. Thank you.